Hi, I'm Kelsey. Thank you for joining me today for a juicy hip mobility class. This will be super quick and just great to loosen up joints and get you more connected to what's happening in your hips. So I am going to load my carriage up, my spring tension up. I have right now everything on except a yellow. I promise that won't be scary, but I do want you to kind of listen to my cues as we get into this for the start. So let's all roll down onto our backs, load your spring tension up. Doesn't have to be everything, but you want it to be like heavy footwork, spring tension. And you're gonna reach back and grab those straps of yours. And as I mentioned, definitely listen to my cues here. You're gonna press all the way out. It's gonna feel super heavy. I want you to take the longer of the two loops, take your right foot off and bring the loop around your right knee and then set your foot back down on the foot bar before we go to the other side. So fully extend that leg, set the foot down, then lift the left, put it around your left knee, and then from here, I want you to bend in and bring both of your legs to tabletop. And so you're gonna feel that really heavy pull back, which is gonna feel nice on your back and on your hips. So let your knees sort of come in towards your chest as much as possible. And I just want you to take a few breaths here. So allow your body to melt. Allow your spine to melt. If you want, turn your palms to face up so your chest and sternum are open. And if you feel a deep pinch at the front of your hip, that has a tendency of being normal if you have really tight hips, so you can press kind of away or just breathe into it, press down on your knees if you want, and that's also gonna help get your pelvis to sink and the femur head of your thigh bones to sink a little bit more deeply into the socket of the hips as well. So I just want you to hold this position and breathe here into your low back and really imagine with your exhale breath that you're just sort of allowing your spine and your hips to melt a little bit deeper onto the carriage. And let's go one more breath. And then from here, we're gonna add some movement. So keep knees and ankles together and keep your feet and shins sort of dangling. And moving from the thigh bone, you're gonna dip toes towards your springs and then inhale, bring the knees back into your chest. So you wanna dip straight down and really sort of imagine as if you don't have feet or shins at the lower portion of your leg and focus on this movement really coming from your thigh bone. And this should honestly just feel good. There's no crazy work here. I just want you to stay with your breath and feel this mobility first. Do one more, and then we're gonna take it into a big stir or a big circle. So you're gonna dip toes down to springs, pause, hold it. Inhale, keep the feet together. Let your knees splay open as wide as possible. And then once your knees get as wide as they can go, you're gonna separate your feet and circle the thigh bones around the knees, connect at the top. Inhale, dip, open, and circle it around. Beautiful. Dip it down. And I want you to really also just take your time here. I want you to really invest in that juiciness, invest in allowing your hips to get as much mobility as they need. And the slower we go here and the more that we feel into this, the better it is and the more mobile your hips will hopefully become as well. Now it's a big problem area for all of us, me included. So from here, hold it at the top and now we're gonna reverse it. So knees are up and in, keep feet together, you're gonna open knees out, separate your feet, and then feet meet at the spring, then knees draw back together. So it's in over your chest, open knees, open feet, circle around, feet connect, the knees connect. Good. This direction, takes a little bit more thought than the other direction. So if you're feeling a little uncoordinated, that's totally normal. But I just want you to really focus on moving through those hips, getting the femur to stir really fluidly. Here, with this circle, we're really kind of lubing up our hip joints, getting that synovial fluid in the joint to loosen up a little bit more. Good, we got one more. Good, and now from here, I want you to now bring your legs to a true tabletop position. You might need to adjust your straps. I'm gonna move mine up just slightly. Okay, so and it might be easy for all of us to place our hands at our thigh bones from here. I want your thigh bones to be perpendicular to the floor, so they're straight up and down. You're just gonna flex your feet from here, and then on your exhale breath, you're going to extend your heels to the ceiling and try to straighten your legs up. But the goal as you do this is to not let the thigh bones move. Point your toes and inhale, bend. So work with stability here. Flex and extend heels to ceilings. Keep your tailbone to your carriage. And I want you to invest in feeling the length through the back line of your leg, getting a stretch through hamstrings, maybe even into your calves. Good. Let's just do 2 more here. Good, and you're gonna hold the next one up. Hold here, keep the feet flexed, and then I want you to grab your straps or grab the ropes, and then you're gonna guide your legs open as wide as you can get them, just to get that nice stretch through your inner thighs. You can flex and point your feet. You can roll out your ankles. Do whatever feels good. And then let's bring them back together. And just like how we got into this, I want you to set your feet back down onto your footbar first. Press left foot into the footbar. Get some stabilization there. Take your right foot out of the strap. Set it down onto the footbar first, and then take your left foot out of the strap. Let the carriage come on down. Set your straps back onto the pegs. And from here, you're gonna take your feet wide. Heels stay on the footbar, heels wide on your footbar. And we're just gonna feel a little internal to external rotation through your thigh bones. So just let your knees knock in, and they're knocking in by the rotation from your hips, right? So really getting that upper thigh bone to internally rotate. And as you internally rotate here, your sit bones at the back side of your body spread wide. And then you're gonna externally rotate out. Good. Let's just do that one more time. In and then out. Now hold your externally rotated position, and now bring a little bit more energy and awareness into your heels. Make sure your heels are evenly planted. And oh my gosh, y'all, I almost forgot that I need to change the springs. So before we press out, I want you to sit up really quickly and take everything off except for, I'm gonna leave on 2 reds. So you want this to actually be pretty light. So it's like the lightest footwork spring possible. I would go like 2 reds, make sure they're the wider on the side reds, because we're gonna adjust some things in a second. You could even go lighter than that. Good thing I didn't try to press out with that, or I would have been pleasantly surprised. So come back down. I want your heels on the footbar. Reset, reconnect. You're in a wide, externally rotated position. Take a deep breath in. You're going to press out in external rotation. This is why I want this to be light, because we're gonna swivel on our heels, but really we're rotating in from our hips, bending the knees in internal rotation, and then rotating back out to external. So we're now continuing to do like this nice big stir. And I want you to almost think of this as 4 separate movements. You're rotating for one, and you're pressing out for one, right? So we're gonna rotate open here to external, press out, then rotate in, then pull in. So really kind of think of them at this as like 4 separate movements. I want you to really feel and invest in the rotation. I want you to really feel and invest in the press and the pull in. Good. So we're gonna go just one more in that direction, and then we're gonna reverse it. So come down, stay in internal rotation, press out in internal, externally rotate from the pelvis and pull in. So it's just a little reverse now of that. And again, I want you to not think about too much of this rotation happening from feet or from knees, but really feel the rotation initiate from your hips. Good, and one more. Pull all the way in. Keep your legs wide, open your arms to a T. You might need to readjust a little bit here, but we're gonna take it into a hip swivel. So I'm dropping my knees over to the right. Think about laying your left shin down onto the footbar if you can, and then bring it back to center. Drop your knees over to the left, lay your right shin down. Good. My back just released there, so you might get a little nice papa release just like me, which is always lovely. And with this hip swivel, you're gonna get a stretch into the low back. You also might feel it through your chest, and we're still continuing to work on that mobility through the pelvis. Good. And now from here, come back to center. So I'm gonna bring my feet back to the center of my foot bar, and as I mentioned, we just have 2 red springs on. You might want to take a spring off. I'm gonna leave it. You can do it from here, or you can go just down to 1 red spring, but I want you to press all the way out. And then you're gonna step your left foot directly down onto the floor in the well of your carriage. Keep your right leg straight for now. Stay on the heel. And then you're gonna walk your left foot back so that your heel lifts off the floor. And then you're also able to aim your left knee on, it should feel sort of like on a downward angle. Now from here, most of us should already feel a stretch through our left hip flexor. I want you to just give me a micro bend of your right knee. That's gonna deepen the stretch even more. And now hold here and breathe. And I'm gonna give you a cue for your breath that will deepen the stretch even more. So you're gonna inhale, take a big expansive breath in through your nose, fill up your diaphragm. And then on your exhale, draw your ribs down towards your carriage. And that contraction, that draw down, is gonna help get a deeper stretch into the hip flexor. 2 more breaths like that. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, draw ribs down. Good, 1 more. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, ribs draw down. Good, press all the way out, and then we're gonna switch. So my left foot's gonna come on, fully extend that leg. Right foot steps down onto the floor into the well. And again, your heel should be lifted and you're on your toe, but you're aiming your right knee down towards the floor. Once I have that stretch, I'm gonna just give a little micro bend of my left knee. Also, I want you to make sure that your knees aren't splaying out wide. So draw your knee into your midline a little bit more, and that will also help deepen the stretch. And then from here, let's add those breaths in. So inhale, big expansive breath in through your nose. And then exhale, draw rib cage down towards the carriage, and that contraction is gonna deepen the hip flexor stretch. Again, inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, ribs draw down, aim your knee down. Good, last one. And good. Press all the way out, pull it all the way in. Hug your knees into your chest 1 last time for good measure. Whew, and I feel so much better now. Let's set ourselves up. Y'all made it. Great work today. Hopefully you feel much more mobile and connected to your hips. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon.
Thanks for moving with me. I hope you're feeling connected, empowered, and aligned. If you enjoyed this class, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out more KWL sessions to support your practice. Until next time, move well, be well, and live well from the inside out.